Hello, this is Andrew Singer, and I will be commenting today on Ford's global strategy from Chapter 12 in our book. So, some background information about the company. Ford is a car manufacturing company based out of the United States. It's headquartered out of Detroit, Michigan. There are currently 72 manufacturing plants both in the United States and across the world. The Ford CEO at the current time is Alan Mulally. This slide shows all the plants located across the world. As you can see, the most plants are obviously in the United States, yet there are still many plants and employees across the entire globe. So some background information about this case. Ford used to use multiple platforms to build the same type of car. This basically means that a Ford Focus in the United States and a Ford Focus in other parts of the world would be the same car, but yet they would be built on different platforms. This made costs very high and expensive to produce different types of parts for the same car. Obviously, each platform was specific to a certain region around the world that Ford thought this would accommodate better. After the global crisis and recession in 2008 and 2009, CEO Alan Mulally changed this international production to what is now known as the One Ford idea. The One Ford strategy is the idea that the same car will be built on the same platform around the world, and this is very successful now because it lowers the amount of costs to build different platforms for cars. So now, instead of the Ford Focus being different in the United States and the Ford Focus being different in Europe, now it is the same platform with different specifications still for each area. So now the Ford Focus in America and the Ford Focus in Europe have the same platform, but they can still be specified to what the drivers of each location would like. Not only does this lower costs, but this also helps Ford with their production materials. This makes parts easier to obtain for certain parts of the world, and it also makes it that any of those 72 plants around the world can make the same car instead of only plants in the United States creating a United States platform versus Europe or Asia or etc. So in the case questions presented for Chapter 12, the opening case was this Ford's global strategy. It talked about how the international strategy compared to the international strategy when CEO Alan Mulally took over and introduced the One Ford idea. So my thoughts on the One Ford idea is that there are advantages to both how Ford used to run their manufacturing compared to the One Ford idea. I believe that the One Ford idea is ultimately better just because of having the same platform but on different cars becomes very cost efficient, and ultimately in a business that's what you're looking for. This new strategy helps Ford continue to move forward and compete because it lowers the costs, and it only uses 5 platforms to cover the building of over 6 million cars around the world. And instead of having a ton of different platforms, 5 different platforms becomes very simple and cost efficient, and ultimately this creates a better outcome for Ford. So my concluding remarks on this case is that CEO Alan Mulally really did help Ford with strategy, and following the global recession, they needed to have a low cost efficient building strategy for making these cars, because in order to make money in that era, they had to lower the costs, and with cost of production being too high, you can't lower the cost of selling your car. But in order to sell the car at a lower cost, they were able to create multiple cars on the same platform, and this platform, known as One Ford, ended up actually really simplifying the whole manufacturing of the Ford car, and really helped Ford in the long run. So thank you, and that will be it.